Welcome to the Baseball Discourse with your host, Dan Lavallo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Lavallo, and we are putting this baseball discourse together on the perhaps day that Aaron Judge hits his 61st home run. You don't know. I'm putting this together on Sunday, September the 25th, and all eyes in the baseball world anyway, but also the nation are on Aaron Judge. Can he hit 61 home runs and tie the American League single-season home run record set by Roger Maris, another Yankee, back in 1961? It has a lot of significance for a number of reasons. This record doesn't seem to be tainted. And, of course, we've heard a lot about what's going on with the steroid era and Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. And that's why this has received, I think, a lot of coverage. Not only the fact that Judge has a stellar reputation, not only the fact that he is a Yankee, and the Yankees hold the American League single-season home run mark, first Babe Ruth in 1927 when he hit 60, and then Maris with 61 in 1961. But the fact that Judge has this stellar reputation. And so that's why the eyes of the baseball world and even the sporting world and the world in general is on this particular story. Yankee Stadium is sold out. It's incredible. Every at-bat that Judge has, the crowd stands, they're cheering, and then at the last instant, they're silent. Anyway, I thought I'd go back to the 1961 season when Maris hit the 61 homers. And remember, Commissioner Ford Frick got into the act. He was Babe Ruth's ghostwriter, so he did everything possible to try, I think, and take away from Maris and his record. The American League had expanded to 10 teams in 1961, so that meant the schedule expanded from 154 games to 162 games. And so the commissioner issues this edict in July as both Mantle and Maris are going towards the single-season home run record, saying, well, they've got to do it in 154 games, otherwise we're going to have separate lines in the record book. There was never really any talk of an asterisk, by the way. The media brought up the subject of an asterisk, but there never was really an asterisk in the record book. But let that go. Fact of the matter is, they've got to get the 61 homers in 154 games, or we're going to have separate lines designating a 162-game season and a 154-game season. No other records were affected this way, just the home run record. Why? Because Ford Frick was narrow-minded, and Ford Frick was Babe Ruth's ghostwriter. What a joke. But don't get me going. Anyhow, Maris did not set the record in 154 games. He hit his 59th home run in the 154th game of the season in Baltimore on a windswept, rainy evening. The game not only was televised on WPIX TV 11 in New York, the Yankees' flagship station, the Baltimore Orioles television station televised the game, and ABC put it on national television with Hank Greenberg, who had hit 58 home runs, among the commentators. So ABC televised it nationally. It was a big deal. Make no mistake about it. Maris didn't set the record, but let's go back, first of all, to this stretch where the voice of the Yankees, Mel Allen, is interviewing Roger Maris after the Yankees had won the pennant, after the final out, and here is the interview with Mel Allen talking to Roger Maris.
This is Mel Allen speaking to you, friends, from the Yankee clubhouse. Hey, Raj, come here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Raj, I'm sorry you didn't get number 60.
Well, I was trying, Mel, the last
I know you
times
did.
up at bat, and just couldn't get it.
You know, Raj, earlier tonight, and I'd like to set the record straight for some of these folks looking in, these real nice people who, I just happened to mention that the last time we were here, remember the game was washed out. You and Mickey and Boyer lost a homer.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, I said not in any defense, but just it was noteworthy to observe that you had hit a homer that had been washed out. The Babe did not have one that was washed out. So I got a lot of wires here saying, I got right here in my pocket, saying, well, you forget that if the Yankees, that game had been played, that 150, last night's would have been the 155th game, or 154th. There was one tie game. In fact, when Babe hit his 60, they played 155 games. They had one tie game. But the point of it is, had that game gone to its completion, where you had your home run, you would not have played a doubleheader last night, because one of the games played last night was a playoff of that game. Is that right?
That's right.
And so, therefore, it still would have been within the legal limits of 154 games to a decision. But nonetheless, how do you feel having come so close and not quite?
Well, of course, it always feels good to come close. After all, I'm in some pretty good company with Babe Ruth, Hank Greenberg, Jimmy Fox, and some of the boys, so I'm very happy.
I got news for you. You just in company with Babe Ruth, because Hank and Jimmy, God bless them both, only hit 58. You're the only one that ever hit as many as 59 other than Babe.
Well, I'm very thankful that I've ever gotten that high, Mel.
And you won't mind the asterisk, will you?
No, I
if
sure
you
won't.
From here on out?
I sure won't.
You're still going to keep swinging. You're not going to take that day off right away, are you?
No, I don't think I will, Mel. I think I'll just keep playing and see what happens. I'll take my chances.
Raj, in this last month, I know you've been under severe pressure.
That you are right on.
Have you ever had anything like it in your life?
No, Mel, I haven't. There was quite a bit there, and it's over with now, and I'm very happy.
You realize, of course, that all the reporters with jobs to do, everybody, meant well. The photographers who would always come off and gather around home plate to take your picture, they meant well. They were trying to cover this story, which was the greatest sports story of the year. But it must have at times bothered you when you were at bat. As you looked out of the corner of your eye, or thoughts went through your mind.
Well, you always do have those thoughts when you're up there hitting and trying to hit, I should say, and you'll look over and see 2 or 3 photographers standing around home plate. It does get you after a while.
Do you feel relieved?
Right now, yes, very relieved. Pennant cinched, and the 154-game limit is over with.
That was the main thing, winning the pennant, of course.
That's right.
And you really feel relieved. You have no regrets.
No regrets whatsoever.
God bless you. Great team man.
Thank you.
Raj, I remember the times you bunted to get the run home, too. Wonderful. Let me get a shot of you here, Raj.
So that was Mel Allen in the Yankees clubhouse after they had clinched the pennant in Baltimore. 154th game of the season. Maris did not hit his 60th homer. He did get number 59, however, putting him in elite company. It was just Maris and Ruth at the time. Ruth with 60 homers and Maris with 59. But what of the remaining 8 games? I think Maris sat out one of the games, hit his 60th homer against the Baltimore Orioles at Yankee Stadium, but then played in the other games, and that included his historic 61st home run. Now, let's put that in context. The crowd at Yankee Stadium, final game of the season, crowd at Yankee Stadium on this Sunday afternoon in October 1961 was 23,000. And people are saying, well, why wasn't it a sellout? Well, remember, the commissioner had diminished the record with his idiotic statement that there would be 2 lines in the record book. Thankfully, by the way, Commissioner Fay Vincent did away with that nonsense, but that had to suppress the crowd. Yet, 23,000 people did show up, many of them seated in right field where they thought Maris would hit the home run because he pulled most of his homers. And there was a restaurant owner in Sacramento, California, who guaranteed that whoever caught the baseball, he would pay $5,000 for that baseball and put it on display in his restaurant in Sacramento. And, of course, Sal Durante then entered the history books because he was from Brooklyn, truck driver, I believe, and he was the one who caught the baseball. But the famous call of that 61st home run was not the television call by Red Barber, who was at the mic calling the play-by-play with Mel Allen on commentary on WPIX-TV. The famous call was by Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto was on radio. Just an outstanding call. I always thought that Rizzuto belonged in also the broadcaster's wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't get his due as a broadcaster. They think about him as far as the cannolis and the birthdays and leaving games early, but that was not his entire career at the mic. In fact, that was not his career at the mic by a long shot. In his prime as a broadcaster, Rizzuto was outstanding on play-by-play. So you hear the clips everywhere, particularly now with Judge making his move, of Rizzuto calling that 61st homer. But it's edited for time purposes. I'm going to play the entire clip now. It's almost 2 minutes long of the entire at-bat by Maris, and then what happens during the homer and after the homer. Enjoy it. This should be played in every classroom that teaches sports broadcasting. This is an outstanding call by Phil Rizzuto. And here it is. You won't get it anyplace else. Here it is in its entirety.
And they're standing up, waiting to see if Maris is going to hit number 61. Here's the windup. The pitch to Roger, way outside ball one. And the fans are starting to boo. Maris only has, including this time, 3 times at bat. And unless the Yankees get a rally, that's all he'll have to try and get number 61 on the year. The windup, the pitch, low, ball 2. That one was in the dirt. And the boos get louder. 2 balls, no strikes on Roger Maris. Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Holy cow, it's it. 61 for Maris. And look at him fight for that ball out there. Holy cow, what a shot. Another standing ovation for Roger Maris. 61 home runs, and they're still fighting for that ball out there. People were climbing over each other's backs, and they want Maris to come out and take another bow. He does. And he's coming out again. Man, if his teammates are pushing him out there, he wants to get down, they won't let him. One of the greatest sights I've ever seen here at Yankee Stadium.
I still get goosebumps when I hear that. So there you have it, the entire call. And hopefully this gives you a little context as to what's taking place now with Aaron Judge going for his 61st homer. Maybe he does it against the Red Sox. Maris hit his 61st homer against the Red Sox. Pitcher Tracy Stallard and Roger Maris forever in the baseball history books together. And, well, maybe he does it against the Red Sox. Maybe he doesn't. I'd like to see him do it within the context of 154 games. He's got the 60 homers within the context of 154 games. So, you know, the Yankees have, how many games remaining? 11 left. So he still has time to do it within the context of 154 games. I'd just like to see it to say, Ford Frick, take that. But anyway, there you have it. The chase by Aaron Judge, trying to enter his name in the record books. He already has in many respects, but he keeps going, and he's also in position to win the Triple Crown. Wouldn't that be something? For Judge to hit the Triple Crown. Like somebody wrote the other day when he hit a 60th homer, that hit also gave him the batting average lead. So at that point, he was leading the American League in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. I mean, that's never happened, to have a home run champ in the record books with home runs also winning the Triple Crown. It should be interesting. It should be a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. But I wanted to put everything in context, comparing to what happened with Roger Maris and now Aaron Judge. That's it for the Baseball Discourse. Be sure to subscribe to the Baseball Discourse. We are in all of the podcast directories, so all you have to do is log into your favorite directory and subscribe to Baseball Discourse. Thanks for listening. I'm Dan Lovallo.